Well, there's an awful lot of things to like about my Crossplane R1. One of them is it makes a hooligan out of you. It's definitely brings out the worst in you. You get the road open in front of you, and that throttle is like it's candy to to a child. Anyway, we're gonna head out on the open road today. Come and share the ride with us. You can watch it in full 4K. Adjust your settings in the lower right hand corner. Just like we have to every day before every ride, we got to move some bikes around. And we have some basic maintenance to do. We want to get that all done because it looks like it's going to be a beautiful day to ride today. And you just never know. When you have too many bikes and a too little garage, this is what you deal with. And it really is a routine before you can do anything in my garages. You always have to take at least one or two motorcycles out before you can work on them or get ready for a ride. But then I always like to go get myself a cup of coffee here. We're not in any rush today. And just look around and admire the beauty of motorcycles in general. And it's my feeling that it's a good investment to always check the tires every time you ride the bike, no matter how old the bike is and no matter how old the tires are. It's like pre-flighting an airplane, which from my days of aviation, and as other people who have owned their own airplane know, it's a good investment. I like to ride a clean motorcycle, and because I don't buy and sell the motorcycles the way some people do, every time I ride them, I try to get the bugs off them, and just in general, every time I have the bikes out of the garage like this, I always see something I want to polish or something I want to do, and today's ride is going to be the R1, so while I had the three of them out there and I was having a cup of coffee, Karen was observing the garden and we're getting ready to go plant some flowers here pretty soon. I noticed the chain needed to be lubed from the last time we rode the bike, and that is a constant ongoing thing. But always getting the bike ready. Now, I know a lot of my friends, they're just, I guess it's fine to do it. Just run out of the house, throw a jacket and helmet on, and they're out on the open road. Don't check anything. But it's okay. It's when you get stuck. That's how you learn your lesson. And I even like to clean up the sprocket anytime I lube the chain. And it's usually about this time of the morning. Karen will come out with the latest weather. And today is projected to be absolutely beautiful. Maybe get up to be 70. I don't know. It really inspired me because we will probably see some other bikes along the road today. I want the bike to be clean. It's just me. I brush my teeth, I change my socks, and I like to ride a clean bike. And I guess those three go hand in hand. But every time I'm down under the bike, I'm looking for something, anything that looks loose, anything that looks like it's not the way it should be, and it's just me. And I always tell people it's a good investment, and some people don't enjoy doing it. Some people would rather just go ride the bike. We could still be friends. It's no problem at all. But when I leave this driveway, I want to stack the deck totally in my favor, with the radar detector especially. Now this bike is an '09. It's 15 years old. The year after this bike, the 10, they had traction control. Well, this one doesn't, so it makes an exciting ride even more exciting. It's like doing acrobatics without a net, and instead of a net, you have a pit of alligators. Now, any 15-year-old bike is due for a little inspection now and then, and we try to do that every time we ride the bike. This is not a new bike by any stretch of the imagination. It's got way over 36,000 miles on it now, and the parts of the bike that we've custom tuned to our own, well, our own riding style, the bars, the seat, the little pillion seat, a lot of the carbon fiber parts. It was a lot of years in the making to get this bike exactly the way I want. Now, I've had several different types of tires on this bike over the years. Again, 15 years of riding. A lot of tires. Anyway, this tends to go through a set of tires relatively quickly. Now, to compensate for that, Vlad suggested I try a set of these Pirelli Angels, and they seem to be wearing in just as good as you could expect. I'm not sure they have the overall edge grip that, say, the Michelin 5s have. I don't know, because I haven't really put it to the test since I put the tires on. But they wear right to the edge without any problem, and they seem to be wearing well. But I think when these wear, when they're done, I'm going to go back to Michelin's. The reason is, and it's a critical reason for me, is I like to mount my own tires, and I've put up several videos of how to do that. Anybody can do that easily and save the money. And the Pirellis, they are, when you go to mount them, you better have a gorilla handy in your shop. Now, part of my normal maintenance is keeping that exhaust pipes clean. If they start getting all gummy and slimy, and I took a lot of time when the bike was relatively new to polish them, and I want to keep them looking nice. And the covers over the mufflers, those are not Yamaha parts. Those are parts I made by skinning the original parts that come with the bike. And that was a lot of work, but at the time, the ones Yamaha had available were dull, and I wanted these to be shiny. Now, I've had the exhaust system that I made on the bike 7-8 years, but recently I put it back to stock because where I'm riding, you have to go through a lot of populated areas, and it was not popular. Now, there's something about the way the Crossplane engine delivers torque, delivers power. It's mesmerizing to ride around. Always riding around in a gear too high. It has that beautiful low-end torque, very similar to a big MT-09. And I know Yamaha puts a lot of time and a lot of effort into the power band of the engine. That's one of the things that makes this bike so much fun to ride as a street bike, the low-end torque. And I know among my bike collection, every bike's a little bit different. That's the way I want it. But this is the one in particular that can just really, really scare you. There's some times that I've gotten held the throttle open about 2 seconds longer than I thought I should. And if you're not really paying attention, things really start to happen in a hurry. But then that's true with all super bikes. And I'm sure anybody that's never really ridden a true super bike that really is scary to ride and is wheelie prone and has no traction control, I guess that's what makes you a hooligan. And being a hooligan, when you get off the bike, you can go back to being, the husband of the year. But while you're on this bike, you're a hooligan. Now, other friends of mine that are doing a lot of track days, they ante up to the bar and buy the expensive suspension and all the shock and everything. I have never found it to be necessary for the kind of riding I do and where I ride. Basically in this area I call the Bermuda Triangle in North Jersey, lower New York. I think the suspension that comes with it, I think it's going to outlive me, to be honest. I'm amazed that Yamaha does such a good job on that. But again, if you have the money and you want to upgrade to the Öhlins, hey, they fit right on. Now this engine red lines at 13.8 on the tachometer, and it has a giant shift light that comes on when you get real close to 13.8. I tend to think it's a lot more fun for me to ride around because somewhere around 10,000 the velocity stacks come off the injectors and you get a power boost at about 10,000. And I like feeling that power boost because basically I'm not racing anybody. So, but if you want to, you know, you always have the best of all worlds. And the thing that makes this bike the cherry on a sundae is having that Valentine radar detector. Without that, oh, I would have been in a lot of trouble many times as a baby hooligan. Now basically, the day is coming to an end. We're going through the lake area here, and it is just turned out to be beautiful weather. And a day like today, it's just hard to describe to somebody that's never had a day like this out on the R1. Well, for sure, it doesn't get a whole lot better than this. This weather was just perfect today. This might have been the nicest day of the year so far. And the R1, it always thrills you one way or another. It always is an exciting bike to ride. It's a crossplane, and it turns me into a hooligan. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please hit the like button if you did, and thank you so much for watching.